with making my first order, with the suppliers, with all this stuff, with having it's a lot of stuff. I'm just like, what am I going to do? What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm trying out a new hairstyle. I know my hair looks funny, but you're here for the content. Hands up in the comment section down below if you thought starting a business was going to be quick and easy, because I do not know about you. For me, it has been one of the hardest things ever. I've started businesses in the past, don't get me wrong, but I have not invested so much money and time like I'm doing currently, and it's very draining on my emotions. It's Monday today. Last week Monday, if I'm not mistaken, I was crying over something. Someday last week. Just know every week I'm crying over something that I feel like is not working out, because I'm getting bad news every day. And it's not necessarily bad news, I just realize it's just something that I didn't expect to happen, and because I didn't expect it to happen, I think, oh my god, so now I can't do it. Oh my god, you guys, I broke down so many times. Anyway, without talking too much, let us get started. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about two things. The first thing is finding suppliers, particularly on Alibaba, and the second thing is marketing for your business. I feel like at the point where I'm at right now, and for any person starting a new business, the problem is finding suppliers and marketing, because everyone can get product. The problem comes when it's time to sell it. You think you have, oh my god, I have 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, some people are bound to buy. But let me tell you something, I've been marketing this book for the longest time, and yes, I do have buyers, but I'm currently sure none of them is from YouTube, none of them is from social media. It's from other stuff that I've been doing. So I want to set up a marketing plan. I've already set it up. I just want to share with you guys what I'm going to do, and hopefully the information that I share is helpful in one way or the other, because 1 month from today I'm going to come back and give you guys a review if all this stuff worked. So when it comes to suppliers, you guys, if there is one challenge I found is with suppliers. I have my journal here, because everything that happens to me, I just keep writing it down so that I do not forget. I thought about doing this business, the whole idea came up in January. In February, I started putting out content about how I'm starting a new business. You guys have watched this. All that stuff was smooth, all that stuff was easy, and I planned that by 1st April I'm going to have launched my journal. You guys, it's currently 29th March, 2 days to April. The stuff is not here yet, and it's nowhere close to getting here. We'll get into those problems shortly. On 8th March, this is exactly what I wrote. I got some crazy news with the supplier. I had a conversation. You know what, we're going to start with how to find a supplier, and then I'm going to tell you the problems that you might face along the way when you find a supplier, because if there is anything I would have wanted to know when it comes to finding suppliers, this would be the information, and I hope you find it helpful. So let me get my computer and let me show you how to find suppliers. I found my suppliers on Alibaba, particularly because I tried to look for local suppliers and people within the country, within Canada, within Montreal, and most of them were really expensive. You guys would have gotten the journal so expensively. Also, with the suppliers, you guys, it's a lot of work. The suppliers that do locally don't do for you exactly what you want. I wanted a gold spiral bound notebook. I wanted it to have that gold foil. I wanted it to have different designs inside different pages, and no supplier within Canada was doing that for me. If they were probably charging me 70 bucks per journal to get what I want, or they do for me something that they want, and I didn't want that. I wanted it fully customized. That's why I chose Alibaba. So Alibaba is a Chinese platform that has a lot of wholesalers within China, and a lot of people have trouble getting suppliers, but let me tell you something, it's the easiest process ever, and Alibaba has made it so easy. This is how they've made it easy. For example, I've already ordered for my journals, but if I wanted to find a supplier for something else like poly mailers, because I need the mailers to package the journals over to you guys, so I'm going to go over to Alibaba right now and put mailers. What are they called? Poly mailers, I think. Poly mailers. Alibaba has this thing whereby you can filter, and I personally filter like this. I go to supplier type and make sure they have trade assurance and make sure they are verified by Alibaba. If you do that, it saves out all the people that are not legit, basically, because now Alibaba has taken the time to vet all these people. There's so many things you can filter from. Also, if you understand the certifications, you can filter by certification so that all the people that are referred to you are legit and verified. That is what I personally did, and that's how I found my supplier. If you need more information about how you can find suppliers on Alibaba, let me know in the comment section down below. But that's how easy it is. It's not that complicated. Also, make sure you contact more than one person. I personally contacted like 10 people. Of course, I narrowed it down to one, but when I narrowed it down to one, there is other problems that came about. Let's get started with the problems that made me cry almost every day. I have them written down in my notebook. Number one, of course, you're going to have a problem with language barrier. So when you find the supplier, or when you start talking to a bunch of people, make sure that you have all the details of what you need. I personally was sending a journal and put that I want this gold foil to look exactly like this, to look exactly like the gold foil words and the gold foil corners. And then I went ahead to do these little tags. I sent them a PDF and told them where I want these gold tags to be. I sent so many particular details so that they don't miss anything when it comes to samples, because it takes about 2 weeks to get the sample, 1 week to do the journal, 1 week for delivery, and it's so expensive to get a sample. You guys, a sample costs more than the real journal. You guys can't believe this sample cost me 200 Canadian dollars to get this sample. So make sure there is no mistake, because if the sample comes and it's not okay, then you have to get another sample, which takes time. This stuff takes time. The idea came in January. I plan to launch on 1st April. You guys, 1st April is here. I'm not getting my stock until June 2nd. I've actually officially finalized the day, which is June 2nd. I mean, the first people that bought during the pre-sale are getting on 2nd May, as well as some people, but the big batch is coming on 2nd June. So it's taken me, when did I make this payment? I made the first order on 15th March. I plan to make the first order on 28th February. This is another thing, when you plan to start a business, things don't go how you want, so you have to learn how to be fluid and go with the flow. These things tend to disappoint you and make you feel like, oh my god, I'm a loser, but you're not. It's just a learning process, and that's what I've come to realize. Everything is a learning process, so be patient with yourself. Then the next thing is also expect the back and forth in communication because of language barrier. Now, when you order on Alibaba, one of the things that might be a problem is the fact that Alibaba, you have to order bulk, and that's a problem. You have to order over 500 copies. When I did my research, I asked my supplier and I'm like, yo, do you guys have a minimum order? She's like, no, we don't have a minimum order. What they failed to mention is that they don't have a minimum order. However, because they don't have a minimum order doesn't mean it's good for you. I did get a supplier that told me that they had a minimum order, but I think it's always better to know that even if they have no minimum order, the price is much higher for stuff. For example, I got my sample for $200. When I went back to the lady and I was ready to make my order after my pre-sale, based off of the people that had ordered, I was like, oh, can I have like maybe 20 copies? She's like, it's going to cost you $2,000. You guys, $2,000 for 20 copies? I was like, damn. I started freaking out. She gave me this whole invoice that was so damn expensive for 500 copies. I'm like, am I going to be able to do this? I wanted to give up, which is one of those things. You need a support system for people to tell you you can do this, and for people to support you too, because I couldn't come up with the money to do this. However, I do have friends and family that have come up and helped me come up with this money. It's a loan, but at least I've come up with the money in order for me to start the business, and that is one of the things that was really challenging for me, coming up with the money and the miscommunication. Yes, there is no minimum order, but because there is no minimum order doesn't mean that it's cheap. It's actually more expensive. If you have no budget for this, I suggest you put a budget aside for this, because if you decide to go the Alibaba route, it's much cheaper when you buy in bulk. So if I tell you that this stuff gave me an anxiety attack when she told me, I was at work the whole day and I'm like, oh my god, where am I going to get this money? And everyone at work could tell, like, I was shaking. I was like, what the hell is happening to me? I'm telling you this so that you don't go through all these anxiety shocks that I went through. Let's see the next thing that happened to me. Here is another thing. On 11th March around 4 a.m. I was talking to the supplier and I got some bad news. She told me initially that the journals would be arriving in 21 days. So that's what I expected. I made the payment, the first initial payment, because the way Alibaba works is that if you pay for trade assurance, it holds the money until the supplier is done. So yes, your money is safe and all that, but here is the thing. After I made the first deposit, I go back to the lady and I'm like, yo, you told me that it's going to take 21 days because the sample did take 14 days like she said. I expected my order to get here in 21 days. You guys, it's not getting here in 21 days. Only last week she gave me the bad news that, oh, the ports are blocked or some stuff like that. In fact, let me read the actual message for you. This is what she said on 11th March. She's like, it will take around 50 days. This is on 12th March. So I'm like, oh my god, around 50 days. I didn't actually calculate because I hadn't yet done the first payment. So when I did the payment and everything, I go back to her and I'm like, how long is this going to take? She's like, I don't know if you noticed the latest news. Recently the major European canals were blocked, which means your shipment is going to take about 40 days. She first told me 50 days on 12th, then on 25th she told me about 40 days. Listen, 40 days seems like a short time, but on top of these 40 days there's 25 days of production time, which she also failed to mention the first time. So all in all, I plan to launch on April 1st, but now she said it's going to take 25 days for production, which she said it will probably be ready by 25th April, plus 40 days of shipping, which is like 65 days. This is 2 extra months after I've already done a pre-sale, and I told people they'll be getting their journals at the end of March because I did the pre-sale at the beginning of March. All that stuff messed with me, you guys. I was not in the right state of mind. If you guys watch my health and wellness content, you know that I've been eating terribly. I have been missing workouts and all that stuff. This is the reason why I've been inconsistent, because every day I'm getting different news. On top of all the supplier stuff, it might not be the problem. I have to sell 150 copies in order for me to break even. However, I realized that with like all my other businesses, I kind of let them slide because I didn't invest. So I have to do the most marketing I can, and I started freaking out last week and having an anxiety attack because I did not know what I was going to do. It's March 22nd, 2021, and I'm freaking out. I feel like I'm having an anxiety attack. Nothing is happening. Like I've put myself out for a while now. I'm marketing my business, doing all that stuff. I've spent so much money. I'm in debt. There is things that I need and I can't get for myself, and right now I'm really having a breakdown. I'm just recording this for my future self, just in case I make it, because sometimes I'm just like, how am I going to do this? Oh my god. I mean, I know I'm going to do it. I'm just too overwhelmed right now and I don't know where to start. One thing I know for sure is that I'm going to watch this all the way till the end, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sales and be able to support myself. But right now I'm struggling and it's so difficult. Oh my god. Literally so much has been going wrong, and I feel like it's all coming down on me, with making my first order, with the suppliers, with all this stuff, with having it's a lot of stuff. I'm just like, what am I going to do? So after all that, I decided that I need to make a plan. I need to come up with a plan, because a goal without a plan is a wish, and now I have to come up with a social media plan, which I did over the weekend, and that's what inspired me to actually make this whole video. So I want to share with you guys my marketing strategy, because that's how I'm going to be able to make sales. And I'm sharing this with you because maybe you're stuck at a point whereby you have merchandise and you're not able to sell it. I realize it's a lot to do with content. My journal is about what we repeatedly do, and I noticed that all these money moves I want to make, if you've been watching my journal videos, you know, when it comes to the little calendars, even with this calendar that I'm doing for the month of March, you're going to notice that when it comes to habit creation, I do all that stuff. When it comes to my goals, I make excuses and I don't get stuff done. So I need to get this done in order for me to make sales. We are what we repeatedly do. I've done a lot better than I did in February this month, which I'm going to share with you guys in the next video, that plan April with me video, but I just wanted to state that out. So my whole plan for April has changed, but I want to share with you guys my social media plan, because now this is what's going to attract the customers that I want. So there are so many ways of marketing. There's social media marketing, email marketing, paid marketing, video marketing, content marketing, and those are the ones I personally decided to be working on. My goals are to build my email list, drive sales, create brand awareness, and send traffic to my website as well as my YouTube videos. So in order for me to get that to happen, because in these videos, in this content, I'm encouraging people to buy. I don't like selling people like buy this, buy that. Nah, I like giving people value and then encouraging them to buy. So the way I'm going to do this is through TikTok videos, and I've already come up with a TikTok calendar, everything. Yo, this girl changed my whole thing. I shared this with my sister and I realized she changed everything that I had planned for myself. This is crazy. This is insane. This is insane. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, what I plan to do, oh shit. Yo, I had done my whole plan and I shared it with my sister, who has completely changed everything to her own. Anyway, what I decided to do was create 3 TikTok videos every day for this whole week, and then the rest of the weeks I'm just going to do one video every day. But what this has helped with is that I can use the same content for Instagram, and right now Instagram Reels are really booming. So I'm going to use the same content from TikTok as Instagram and do posts and try and sell in stories each and every day. Aside from selling in stories each and every day, I'm going to be doing emails 3 times a week. I have it all. Yo, I have a whole Excel sheet with each and every day planned with the topics and everything. How I came up with this content is, I know coming up with content might be hard, but my whole basis of all of this is that I wrote down what my goal was. I wrote down the different ways of marketing that I can do and decided to put them in on the different days of the week. So when it comes to coming up with content topics, of course, whatever you're doing, whatever business it is that you're doing has an offer. What are you offering? For me, I'm offering accountability, mindset shift, creating healthy habits, dealing with procrastination, personal growth, wellness. So in all those different categories that I offer, there are things like mistakes, limiting beliefs, inspirations, hot topics, social proof, objections, myths. So what I did was put the things that I offer on one side and put everything in those categories. So on one day I can talk about accountability, mistakes. The other day I talk about accountability, limiting beliefs, or maybe mindset, inspiration, hot topics like that. And that made it easier for me to narrow down the different things I can talk about. So that's kind of my plan. I distributed all these things in the days of the week until 2nd May, which is when I'm expecting the first shipment to get here. And that brought me to the conclusion that I need to come up with 35 Instagram story topics, 15 emails, 35 captions, 15 live topics, 12 YouTube videos, and 49 TikToks. That alone makes it so much easier for me to plan, because now I know what I'm doing. I'm not just hitting spaghetti on the wall, you know. So I have a plan. The only thing I have to do is execute. This video is going to be super long. I'm so sorry. I just needed to give you guys some tips, give you guys some insight on what's happening when it comes to starting an online business, because sometimes we think that starting an online business is easy, but it's not. You're going to face problems with finding suppliers, you're going to face problems with language barrier, you're going to face problems with meeting deadlines, you're going to face problems with, I don't know, marketing. And those are the things that I wanted to tell you guys about. Just because you have a product doesn't mean you can sell. And yeah, that's where I'm at. These are the things that were frustrating me, and I hope you found this video helpful in some kind of way, because I don't know, I just thought I should share this with you guys, because it's been a roller coaster journey on my emotions, and hopefully by sharing this, it's going to make your process, if you're starting a new business, much easier. As always, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, of course, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, because it really supports my channel. Also, do not forget to share it with your friends. Don't forget to stay motivated, be patient, trust the process, and spread the love. I will see you in the next one. Bye.